That's my chair.
It's not.
That's my chair.
It's not.
That's my chair. It's not like the microphone's gonna pick it up. Well, that was a bit awkward. I guess while he's sorting that out, hey folks, welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 21st anniversary live streams. This is Black Cross, and I am the co-host, NBC Mekachu, and today, depending on how long he stays, we are joined by a guest by the name of Riolinator.
Howdy.
Riolinator.
Howdy.
Riolinator.
Howdy.
Riolinator. Okay, for some reason the audio is playing on itself.
Right. And now I gotta do something else. Let's see. How's that? What the hell am I doing? Oh, good Lord Almighty. Well, this is gonna be the fun first part of this whole thing. What the hell did I do? Okay, say something. Okay, say something. Okay, say something. Did you hear it that time?
Yes.
Okay, good. I don't know what I did differently. It's quite annoying. Because it's like whenever I switch over to the other cam thing, for some reason my audio wasn't working. So. Note to self. Don't fool around with stuff that shouldn't be fooled around unless you're in the experimental phase.
Don't ask questions you aren't prepared to hear the answers to!
Alright then, guys. So, welcome to the stream. Welcome to potentially...
I already did the intro.
At least let me have my spot.
Okay. I will.
Okay, so welcome back to potentially, depending on whether or not we finally decide to do the actual, like, reading dialogue of Union Cross type scenario thing, potentially the last part of the Kingdom Hearts anniversary stream with Melody of Memory.
I think it'd be kind of poetic. I mean, think about it. Black Cross playing Union Cross.
It'd be fitting, yeah. So,
Rather poetic.
yeah. So, at any rate, though, so this particular stream, we're going to do it a little bit differently. Because, really, in all honesty, in terms of actual story progression dialogue, there's only about, I think there's like, maybe 30 minutes of it. So, there's not a lot, except towards the end. So, it's like, I'm going to do 2 tracks, and it's mostly to kind of remind myself of how the game works and stuff like that, because it's been a while since I've been playing this. Last time I played it, I was trying to maximize completed and platinum trophy it and stuff like that, so it took a little bit of time, but I'm going to try to get myself back into the rhythm, as the terminology would be.
I don't got rhythm.
But, so, the first 2 tracks are going to be just me trying to remember how to play the game. The other 3 are tracks specifically with the, perspective viewing of the progression of the series, you know, where the first one will be the Ansem boss fight, the second one will be the Xemnas boss fight, and then the third one, which will be the ending of it, will be the Master Xehanort boss fight.
And how much of this would you say percentage-wise you would need to mute?
I'd rather not mute 100% of it, but maybe depending on whether or not this thing gets flagged or not, it would probably be wise for me to mute it. Until we get to the actual cutscenes. Because this game, for some reason, because of it being featured music and stuff like that, the freaking Twitch bot thing picks it up and automatically flags it. And it's like, oh, for the love of Jiminy Cricket. So, it's one of those things where it's like, majority of it might be muted, just so that way we can avoid it, but I will still be hearing the music. You might slightly hear it from the mic, who's to say.
Oh, I just remembered a joke that I kind of missed out on when we read Halloween Town all those months ago.
What's that?
Which vampire is known to turn into an amphibian?
I don't know.
Nosferatu.
That's cute. Nosferatu too. Frog.
Nice touch.
Yep. Alright, so let's see here.
So they went from being worlds to the shape of a bicycle helmet?
Bicycle helmet?
You look at that thing and tell me it does not look like the shape of that.
I don't see it.
It's certainly not circular.
I mean, the majority of the worlds aren't really circular either, so there you go.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, it's abnormally not spherical. So
It's a semicircle. Or
yeah.
a semi-sphere.
But alright then, gonna head and mute the audio just for the sake of it. You'll still see the gameplay of it, but it's not gonna be like being able to hear the music and stuff like that, which is what the game is meant to be known for, is the music track. But due to Twitter, or not Twitter, Twitch's guidelines and stuff like that, it will flag me for everything. And so to prevent the entire stream from being flagged and me having to edit the living shit out of it, we're just going to mute some of the music portions. Like I said, you may hear it faintly within the mic, but that's so that way I can hear the music track.
Wait, is that Union Cross style?
It's its own style. It's technically... So, technically, you have Final Fantasy symphony music, so...
This just looks like a ripoff of Guitar Hero.
Told you it's been a while.
Oh, there's one of the big ones. Hey, there's the zip line and renaming the bridge. It's all coming back to you.
Yep.
Except the loudmouth wasn't in Kingdom Hearts 1. The Dark Ball was in it, but not in this world.
Yeah.
At least I don't think they were in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Chain of Memories, yeah.
Hey, they brought back the old style of Air Soldier. As they should have. I'm still not over that.
I'm surprised how well I did, technically. It's probably going to be a D rank, but hey, I did better than I thought I would have. And it's starting to come back to me quicker than I thought.
It's like a boomerang. Oh, a B rank.
Okay, I did better than I thought I did.
You were selling yourself short.
I guess what it is that it is, after all, a rhythm game, so my terminology of rhythm is like, again, the joke that we did with Fozzie Bear was like, I've got rhythm! And then Rob's like, hang on, hang on, hang on. Try this. And then he plays and he's like, I don't got rhythm! So, yeah, that worked out better than I thought. That's good.
Hello, Travis Town. Wait, why is there already an A rank?
Because I already played it back whenever I first played it.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm just replaying through the missions and stuff like that.
I take it that this is going to be using hand in hand.
Yep, it hasn't.
Oh wait, this is just the town theme.
Yeah. Yeah, I chose a town
I don't
theme.
I don't remember wyverns being in this world.
Yeah, they definitely wasn't until you get to, like, after you beat in the, Holobastion.
But yeah, you could definitely see what I meant about the boss in Beast's Castle looking like a dark ball, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it straight up has the little ears, if you could even call them that. It's like if they had a baby with a possessor.
Interesting. Okay, I should not be this good. I'm terrified now. Then again, these two were supposed to be test tracks. And here we are, we did well with them. I'm surprised. So now this is where things get interesting, because now we get to do boss... Oh,
A
full chain.
plus?
I did so well with that, I'm very happy with that. Alright, so I think now we can finally do the boss tracks now. First one being Ansem. And the thing is that not only will we receive damage from missed timings, we also receive damage from, like, the boss itself if we're not careful with our dodges and stuff like that. Or,
So we're only doing the bosses then?
yeah. I mean, there are 4 bosses, but 3 of them are, like, the bigger ones. One of them is just fighting Maleficent from Birth by Sleep, which I thought was weird. It's like, really?
Sora wasn't even that old.
Yeah, but I mean, it goes through the story progression, like Birth by Sleep and stuff like that. So you have the Wavefinder trio.
Ah.
Yeah. So if you've noticed, we had the selection between Sora, Donald, and Goofy, Roxas, Shion, Axel. You have Terra, Aqua, Van, and then Riku with Batrick and Beans.
Wait, wouldn't it make more sense to do the bosses in the order of the timeline?
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're doing the Anthem boss fight first.
Wouldn't Maleficent be first?
Well, see, the Maleficent boss fight is all the way... Where are you at? Ah, all the way up here.
And?
And what?
What exactly is stopping you from just going all the way up there if it takes place in Birth by Sleep?
Because, I mean, that's technically where it takes place within this music track. Because it's using the boss fight music that you would hear normally from Kingdom Hearts 2. Which, when Birth by Sleep Trio fought Maleficent in Birth by Sleep, it used that track.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, it used Encounter.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. So, anyway.
You sound like I'm a child. Look, I might be 8 years younger than you, but, like, still.
Yeah. Fair point. Okay, why is it not working half the time? There we go.
Oh, I don't know if this is actually the case or not, but I think it'd be kind of hilarious if, when you go to the Kingdom Hearts 2 stuff, one of the songs is "Swim this way, we'll dance and we'll play." You're trying to keep your composure right now.
Yeah, while at the same time keeping track of the music. Despite how well I'm doing, it takes a lot of concentration to remember how to do some of these controls and stuff.
I take it there's no way to really heal yourself.
Nope. I mean, you can use healing items, so that helps. But that's whenever you...
I was asking.
But that's for, like, if you get down to 0 and stuff. Which is partially what I'm trying to avoid. Because it hurts the score overall. That wasn't too bad, actually, in all honesty. And I got a B. Once again, that wasn't bad.
It was a B.
You know, just for the sake of it, we'll probably just do... Pardon me.
You're fine.
My allergies. We'll probably do the Maleficent boss fight just to help lengthen it, because I was not expecting to be this good at it. It's coming back to me a little bit better than I thought. Which is probably a good thing, you know? Because then otherwise this would have been a very short stream.
You mentioned Maleficent, yet we're doing Xemnas now.
Like I said, in the order that it appears in.
That's what I was saying. It sounded like as if you were going off order.
Ah, gotcha.
This is actually not correct at all. When you fought him, it was Rico in here instead of Donald and Goofy.
That's actually very well accurate.
God, this place looks like a room in IMVU.
It does, doesn't it?
Wait, you actually know what I'm talking about?
I believe is what I'm thinking it is, isn't it? It's like one of those therapy chambers or something like that.
IMVU is a dating website.
Oh, my bad.
An online dating website. Donald was looking around like, "Right now!
I'm definitely surprised. I figured I'd be a lot worse than this. I'd be seeing like either C's or D. And we completed it. Okay. That works. Alright then. So now we can do this. Okay, Donald, what's up with you? Had harsh shapes coming out of his eyes.
And despite the fact that this is just reliving scenes from the entirety of the franchise, it's still connected to the story.
Yep.
With its own shit.
Pretty much.
And I thought Recoded had no reason to be connected.
It's a fun game regardless, though.
This or Recoded?
This. I like, Recoded is still good. It has some aspects that could have made it better.
Do you still give it the completionist rank of donate it?
Probably not donated, but more of the, not worth completing aspects.
So just finish it.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that hurt.
So, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think of things to say while having the ability to talk over the awkward silence.
To be perfectly honest, I'm surprised as to how well I'm handling it, despite being able to talk and stuff like that, because I figured by this point I would have been, doing terrible and stuff, you know, like, because, not to say anything bad towards people who do play rhythm games, but in my way, rhythm games require me to focus nearly 100% at the time because of the factor that you're using 3 different button prompts as well as like the direction depending on the notes and stuff. So it requires a level of concentration to do anything remotely good, you know what I mean? Like, in order to get it passable. Yet here we are, we're still chatting and stuff like that, and I'm able to do just fine. Surprisingly.
You know, with this being a rhythm game, I'm kind of surprised they didn't give the Gummy ship a cute little touch by making the back end of it shaped like a music note.
That would have been interesting. That would have been interesting. But now we come to the part in which where we will actually see an actual story portion of it, followed by the Master Xehanort boss fight itself. So without further ado...
So then, before we do, if I am able to get you to talk about the games again in the completionist ranking...
Oh, sure.
Which ones would they be for each and what reasons? I'm just trying to think of a way to pad out the time.
Oh. Note to self, there's a cord there. So, let's see. 1 second. Gotta straighten this up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Alright. I did say a second, so that's my bad. So, alright then, so let's see. So, we'll start off with games that I would say, yes, definitely you should at least try to 100% complete them. Mostly because, based on how the game is, it's worth the time to do it. And they are 1, 2, and 3, respectively, of course. And yes, admittedly, there's a lot in 2 and 3, especially in terms of trying to complete them. But they are so fun. They really are. There's a reason why that those 3 games in particularly are mainline games. They are like the pinnacle portions of Kingdom Hearts at its best. Now, in terms of finish it, the rest of the game should be finish it, because Chain of Memories, if you tried to complete it, not so much in Riku, but Sora's case, you would have to farm for the individual enemy cards. Then there's the fact of the random Keyblade cards that you have to try to attain. And then in the case of the Final Mix versions, you have to watch the 358/2 cutscenes in order to get the other Keyblades that were added into Chain of Memories because of that. So there's a little bit of a, I suppose, hustle in order to get the remaining cards. But it's mostly time consuming, really. You know, if you're used to grinding, then it wouldn't be a bad thing. But it's very time consuming in terms of the enemy cards. Admittedly, though, if you were to do the enemy cards while trying to level grind, the level grinding would be a lot longer than the actual card grinding itself. So, take that for what it will. Then there's 358/2 days. Some of the missions aren't bad, but the later missions are difficult. A lot difficult. One of which I will say is one of the hardest ones, and really, the best way you can do that is if you're like max level, which takes an absurdly long time. So
You didn't even do one of the secret bosses.
Yeah, one of them, like I said, that Wyvern type boss, it's the hardest one, and whew, you have to be at level 100. I did that back whenever I was playing it on the DS, and...
Wait, I thought only one was the game that had level 100.
99, thank you for reminding me of that. You get what I'm saying, though. Max level.
Yeah.
And then there's Recoded. Yeah, I admit the game's fine. The story, you could easily pass on the story, because all you need to know is that they used Jiminy Journal in order to find out that there were people who were trapped in darkness or sleeping and stuff like that. And really, this whole game basically tells you, yeah, there's no other way we can come up with a better story, so get used to it. type thing.
We don't talk about recoded, no. We don't talk about recoded.
I mean, to be fair, whenever they first did the project, it was originally made for mobile phones, so I can understand that. And then taking that game
glad you
and
emulated the DS version instead.
yeah, cause I wouldn't know, cause I don't even know how it technically plays on the phone, because I believe, and I may be wrong, I would have to look it up again from Cynical's channel, there's only one brand of phone that can remotely play the game.
And it's Japanese.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where it's like, eh. Then there's Burst by Sleep, to which I literally would tell you, do not try to complete that unless you're playing it on the easiest difficulty, in which case, prepare to get hurt. Because, really, you don't need to be at max level for Burst by Sleep. It takes a long, insane time, and really is unnecessary, because depending on the bonuses that you can get from making the individual abilities and stuff like that through the ability synthesis system and stuff like that, you can overcome the challenge, but they are one of the hardest bosses that you'll face in some of the series entries. Not saying that it's harder than the Remind bosses, those are a different level entirely, but they are pretty hard, especially for two of the bosses that are mostly bullshit.
Shadow Vanitas, you literally had to back him into a wall.
That was the only way, because any other way, there was just no way you could do it. There was a technique that was developed back when it was released, and the strategy guys would tell you to use it, but I tried that and it still didn't work. I would still keep dying. I was only able to beat it in the console versions. I was never able to beat it on the PSP, and that was because I knew that if I tried, I would end up breaking the system with the game in hand. So it was like, oh boy, I'm glad the console version is this, so that way I never have to worry about breaking the PSP.
Dream Drop Distance!
Dream Drop Distance, the Julius fight is the only main concern. So really, depending on if you want to go out of your way to acquire all the Dream Eaters and then do the Dream Eater Coliseum fights, the game's not bad. In fact, even whenever you got the battle gates and then refighting the bosses through those battle gates, those are fun. So depending on who you are, that could be a completed or a finish it, depending on your difficulty choice, you know? Like, if you chose critical...
Okay, so it's finna-pleated.
Yeah, finna-pleated. So it's one of those things where it's like, I would argue and say, yeah, completed wouldn't be a problem because, again, the only secret boss would be Julius, and he's really the only hard one. And really, depending on how you are with the game, just use an infinite number of balloon runs and you'll do just fine. It's kind of sad.
Would it be fin-pleat or commish?
It'd be finna-pleated. I remember Gerard basically trying to decide on a game whether to finish it or complete it. And he's like, finna-pleated? So, I think that's what it was. And then there's Fragmentary Passage, which...
we have no way to play.
No, we did, technically.
No, wait, I'm thinking of Union Cross, never mind.
Yeah, Union Cross is what you're thinking of. Fragmentary Passage, which was the Aqua story portion before Kingdom Hearts 3. That one I would say finish it, because to complete it would require you to go through all of the objectives, and some of the objectives can be a little bit demanding, depending on which ones you go for. One of them being... beat the game on critical. Not an easy task, surprisingly. And then, of course, there's beating the Zodiac boss rush section, which, again, the first part, not bad. Once you got to the Phantom Aqua sequence, that's where it gets a little challenging. And then Melody of Memory, depending on how much you like it, I say finish it. You know, the story is relatively short. It's not much of a story. It's just to basically bridge the gap between Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind and to what potentially will lead to Kingdom Hearts 4, hopefully. Hopefully, anyway.
So, would this make Union Cross rank... would that make its rank Watch It?
At this point, yeah, it would have to be watch it, because even if you were to download the app, you wouldn't be able to actually play the game. You would just be allowed to watch the dialogue cutscenes. I say dialogue cutscene, but they're mostly dialogue. So, but yeah.
Cut logs.
Cut logs. That works. We'll go with that.
Sound like a lumberjack.
But yeah, that would be a watch it only ranking. Especially now. But I would still kind of label it as watch it only.
Wait, is watch it actually one of the completionist rankings?
I think so. Let me look that up real quickly. I'm actually curious.
I was just going off of my gut.
It's been a long while since I've actually watched the completionist, so let's see.
Like, the only ones I know of off the top of my head are finish, complete, donate, and burn.
Yeah. And then burn was changed to donated.
That was until KH3 joined him again.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So, the current one is, I say current, but I haven't seen the newest
Quote
one.
unquote.
Yeah, it's complete it, finish it, play it, look at it, donate it. In the old days,
Close enough.
In the old days, it was complete it, finish it, play it, look at it, burn it. So, yeah.
Huh.
I guess in this case, in Union Cross's case, it would be look at it at this point. So, yeah. Because, aside from the gameplay perspective and the story, you have the very... Please forgive me, folks. I'm going to trash the living hell out of Union Cross. You have the blatant, corrupted ruby system, in which where, yes, you could in fact grind it, but it's very slow and tedious, because you need those rubies in order to buy packs to get medals. And depending on your level of completionist level, you'll want to try to get every medal, which would involve buying multiple packs. And if you're familiar with this tactic, you would also know it requires millions and millions of rubies, followed by millions and millions of dollars in order to get what you want, because those particular drops are insanely dumb!
Okay, I need to do this scene, you brought it up.
Okay.
Sorry, Chris. I can't give credit. Come back when you're a little, richer.
That's cute. That's a cute joke.
Card packs, summons, keyblades. You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies. MJ agrees.
Oh, Lord Almighty. But, I mean, the gameplay's not bad. I've seen it, and it's sort of like how Chain of Memory is, in a way. And it's not a bad ideal. It's not bad, but it's one of those things where depending on your overall level of, like, what you want from the game, and to get the full experience, I guess, would require a little bit of cash. And it's one of those things where I highly go against that. So anytime I see that particular system, I stay away from it as far as possible. And to think that comes out of my favorite series in the whole video game genre is Kingdom Hearts, and it's like, I never thought we would stoop that low. But we have.
I just thought of a cursed fusion.
And that would be?
The Moogles with Morshu. It'd be Morgu. Or it'd be Morgul.
Yeah.
Or would it be Mushu?
I'm not sure.
Diggy 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 diggy. Do the Mushu, 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 Mushu.
That's cute. That's cute.
Do the Mushu.
But alright. What was that last part?
Pork.
Okay. But alright then, let's go ahead. You're fine, you're fine. But alright then, let's go ahead and do this final part. Once you enter this world, you will not be able to save until you clear it. Do you still want to enter? Naturally, yes. So.
What's happening? And just when things were going well.
Something's wrong. Shut it down.
She's in the final world?
This is technically part of her memory. See, she had the help of Ansem and crew in order to look into her memories to see if she could find Sora, and so far she hasn't been able to figure out the right track to find him in.
So, what you're saying is that this entire game is from within Kyrie's subconscious, and in actuality, we've been playing as Kyrie this entire time.
Pretty much. Pretty interesting, ain't it? Because, see, if we started over completely, which would have taken a little bit of time, admittedly, we would have seen the progression in which where Kyrie reminisces on the memories of the adventure that Sora and crew went through and stuff.
Kingdom Hearts 1 I could somewhat understand. She was inside of her heart up until Hollow Bastion.
Right.
Chain of Memories... Yeah, she had no fucking idea what was going on there.
Right.
And quite frankly, neither Sora, Donald, and Goofy, but that's a whole other barrel of yours. 358 over 2 days doesn't even take place with Kyrie involved.
Right.
2, Sora was still asleep, so she didn't know what the hell was going on with him until she was brought over to Twilight Town and then the world that never was. She was on the island with Sora during Recoded, so God knows what kind of journeys they were on there.
Mostly school days.
Birth by Sleep takes place in the past. Dream Drop Distance, Kyrie didn't even make an appearance physically outside of a flashback.
Yep.
Fragmentary Passage wasn't even focused on any of the characters there. Up until the last bit, where she decides to become a Keyblade Master.
Yep.
And then 3, she's made into a sacrifice. That Sora sacrifices himself for as tribute.
Yep.
And here we are now, with her being put into a subconscious. No, wait, unconscious.
Memories. Yeah.
They basically put her into a coma.
Pretty much, yeah. And according from what Riku stated, she's been asleep for over a year trying to retrace her memories and stuff. So, yeah.
So this is just her before she joined the island.
Pretty much, yeah. This is literally as Hollow Bastion is being invaded by darkness, and she somehow managed to escape. Thanks to, surprisingly, him of all people.
Terra. Nort.
AKA Xehanort.
This world will be engulfed in darkness. Everything you care about, and everyone you love. If you truly possess the power of a Princess of Heart, your heart will resonate with the Keyblade wielders, and I believe you can lead me to that wielder's world. That is the only possible way to save ours. You see, this is more than an experiment. It's hope. Like most, you probably believe that nothing exists outside of this world you live in. And yet, there are countless other worlds. You can see them sparkle.
So this
brilliantly
takes
in the
place
night sky.
during the events in
Through that
between
sea of stars,
birth and
fate will
1.
guide your
Yep.
ship to where you are meant to be.
Well, I was kind of advocating for a prequel.
However, if you arrive in a world that's neither of light nor darkness, but somewhere on the other side, your task will be far from easy. If that happens, you must abandon your search.
So I imagine that this is still around the time where he lost his memory.
Yeah, and he was still under the assumption of being the apprentice of Ansem the Wise.
I was just thinking to myself, like, how does he know this is going to work? Like, how did he know that he wasn't just going to send Kyrie out into the void of space?
That is a good question, because technically, at the time that he had lost consciousness and stuff like that, Terra and Master Xehanort was kind of at battle inside the mind and heart of each other and stuff like that, trying to battle control over who controls the body itself. Eventually, ultimately, Master Xehanort wins control over it, naturally, but that, I imagine there's like a period of time in which where the body's just kind of acting on its own accord, you know, sort of like a nobody, except it's still human, you know? Like imagine...
So, would Xemnas technically be a nobody of Terra?
Essentially, yeah. Because, while, yes, Ansem is the Heartless of Xehanort, technically, and the Shadow being Terra, technically, Xemnas is the nobody of Terra. And so, as mentioned in Remind, when both Ansem and Xemnas was defeated, not only did it bring back Master Xehanort, but it also brought back Terra as well. So, naturally, because Master Xehanort still had a grasp on Terra's heart, he was able to grasp control of Terra, and thus Terranort in the battle of the Keyblade War itself. So, yeah. Pretty interesting, ain't it? Because, what I find interesting the most is that Xemnas, he only recalls remembering certain events. He doesn't know the actual implications behind those memories, as a nobody would naturally feel. They would feel the memories, but they wouldn't understand it because they themselves never been in that situation physically, but they only have the memories because of who they once were. Which is why in Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically, when we saw the scene in which where Xemnas went into the Chamber of Sleep, and the armor laying there on the ground, he has this euphoria of nostalgia, yet he himself doesn't understand why that is the case. He knows that he needs to find the Chamber of Waking, which then was in. He just doesn't know why he needed to be there to begin with. But I imagine part of that was the Master...
So he was kind of like a ghost.
Yes. And part of that might have been because of the fact that Master Xehanort's subconscious level also recited a little bit of Xemnas, and so that guided him into the direction of making the 13 organization members in the hopes of either A, making them into Xehanorts, or B, trying to wake Ven in order to recomplete the Keyblade again and start over. Master Xehanort was quite cunning in the time that he was still whole. He didn't know what was going to happen.
I just thought of something interesting, seeing that we know about just about everybody from the original organization in Origin, with the exception of Demix.
Yeah.
What if they pulled a Lushu for him, and he was one of the people involved in the Keyblade War?
It would be definitely interesting, but so far we have no actual evidence of anything. For all we know, he's just a random bystander who's just rather do nothing than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, Demix is an unusual character. He's one of those people that, if he's able to make an impact without any major casualties, he would do it. That's one of the reasons why affects and eluded him in the fact that he wouldn't have to worry about being in battles and stuff like that, but he wouldn't be a bench warmer if he did the actions that he did, which was, of course, bring the body vessel to Ansem and stuff like that. Or not Ansem, Sexion. Not Sexion.
Gimmicks time.
There you go, yeah. Trying to remember this stuff tends to make my brain a little scrambled.
It fires a laser. I was kidding!
It's not really a laser, but it breaks apart.
I still think her outfit looks like a life jacket.
Yeah, the top part doesn't help.
So then if this is from Kyrie's memory banks, does that make Xehanort a bit of an inner demon?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have assumption, is that she's still having to go through the trauma of what Master Xehanort has put all of them through and stuff like that. Much like how Sora had basically relived the memories of not only Ven and Roxas, but everybody else that has existed and stuff, he has endured all of that to know what had happened and what Master Xehanort has done.
Sora has achieved a new Trinity limit. Therapy.
That's not funny. Why is that funny? Oh, gosh almighty.
It's just like, I'm not laughing at this. Who's laughing at this? I'm not laughing at this.
Oh, gosh almighty.
You know what Pokemon I think would kind of fit Kyrie based on the flower?
What's that?
Shaman.
Shaman?
Yeah, because of the Cressedia flower.
Ah, that makes sense. I can see that now, actually.
Like, she'd have access to... Okay, instead of her having access to Kyogre, although because of her name, she probably could potentially, I'd see her maybe wielding Manaphy instead.
I could totally see that, too.
So yeah, Manaphy, Shaman, specifically Skyform in reference to Sora.
Yeah.
Although I guess it would be kind of adorable if you saw her, like, sleeping next to, like, a landform Shaman.
Oh, that'd be cute.
I'm drawing blanks. What other Pokemon would fit her?
I mean, just because, either Igglypuff or,
Igglybuff?
Igglybuff. There's also
Clefairy.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, they're pink, but they're also fairy types. And as a Princess of Heart, fairy tales. So that kind of plays a part, I think.
I just thought of a Pokemon that could be used on Sora's team.
Okay.
Stoutland.
Okay.
Because of Goofy.
Ah. That works.
And then Psyduck because of Donald.
Donald's like,
You know they made a meme out of another duck.
and to be fair, what's the duck's name in Scarlet and Violet? Quaxley?
Quaxley.
There we go, Quaxley.
I'm not not too sure if he would have a Quaquaval. It's too shapely.
Okay, you make a good point, but I was just looking towards the Quaxley part because of the hair/hat looking thing, so...
Yeah.
Is that
Okay,
hair?
It's supposed to be feathered down.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, I guess he'd have a Quaxley, maybe a Quaxwell, but I don't think he'd have a Quaquaval.
Okay, I see your point. In terms of the progression of evolution, naturally. So yeah, I can see what you mean.
Riku would... Between him and Sora, Riku would probably have Pikachu to represent the king.
Because why not? The iconic mouse itself. Although to see Pikachu dressed in an organization outfit would be badass. There's been fan art about it, so that's not far off. I've seen it. It's like, well, popular mouse in the frickin' Pokemon series, then popular mouse in Disney. Makes sense.
It's the bald guy.
Yep.
Not so fast, my dear.
You're the one who keeps messing with my fate. If it weren't for everything that you've done, then Sora and everyone would be safe. Even if you're not really here, and this is just a memory or illusion, I won't let you walk away.
You're right, I set you adrift in another world and drastically alter the course of your fate. In the end, you were destroyed by my hand, paving the way for Sora's disappearance.
I seriously hope that they don't bring Xehanort back in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Part of me doesn't want it either, but part of me feels like they just might.
You become quite the Keyblade wielder.
Just to
Or a retired master.
just to sway us in a different direction. You know what I mean? Throw us off the main path and stuff.
I'm sorry, I blinked out.
What I mean is that they would throw Master Xehanort somewhere in the story again, just to kind of throw players off.
Oh, so what you're saying is that they wanted to make the impact from Kingdom Hearts 3's ending a misdirection.
Yeah. They would do something like that, and I could totally see it. That and to build up trauma.
Was created
And yet they'd be completely fine with letting Erica sleep.
You seek clues to
Apparently.
Sora's whereabouts by using your memories of him to search through your own heart. But there's nothing for you to find here. I'm afraid the answer you seek lies in
So I might have figured out a Pokemon that would fit Xehanort theme-wise.
And that would be?
Go-Goat.
A what?
Go-Goat.
Oh, Go-Goat. Because of the goat-like emblem of the Keyblade, and then the goat helmet when we fought him in 3.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
I'm thinking of what Pokemon would fit best with him in regards to the organization.
That's a good one.
Maybe Ditto to represent the vessels?
Possibly. Actually, what about that?
Actually, never mind. That would... Ditto would probably fit better with Vexen.
That's true, too. There's also... What's that one ghost Pokemon again that's got, like, the zipper for a mouth and stuff?
Bayonet, the one that we gave Oogie Boogie.
Yeah. The only reason why is because of the organization's coat.
In that case, it would have to Mega Evolve.
Yeah. That would work better, actually. So, that would work, huh?
And some Secret Darkness would have a Mega Gengar.
That's more fitting than it needs to be. That's more fitting.
Or, what about the Gigantamax form because of his boss fight?
Ooh, now that's an interesting ideal. I like that. It'd definitely be creepy, but it works.
Oh! Xehanort would have Curem.
Curum?
Yeah, because its lore mentions how it was supposed to... It was originally... Like, Reshiram and Zekrom were brought to being by two twin kings who wanted to rule the Unova region one way or the other. The other of truth, the other of ideals. And they
That's
called
right.
upon the power of the dragon, that being Curem, to bring out dragons to help them rule their own way, leaving Curem as this empty husk that can barely sustain itself.
Ah, that works.
And then the black Curem and white Curem forms could represent it gathering up pieces together to form Kingdom Hearts.
How is it that we're able to do this? How are we able to bridge Pokemon references to Kingdom Hearts, literally?
We're doing it a lot better than what they are with Final Fantasy, that's for sure.
Not wrong on that.
I have had enough of this.
And just because of Vexen, Axel, and Larcene being elemental wielders, they definitely would have the birds.
Yep. That definitely makes sense.
The Catonian ones, not the Galarian ones.
Right.
So she's been deemed worthy of the Kingdom Key too. Nope, never mind.
This is pretty messed up, too.
As I thought, your voice can't reach us here. Now I'm certain of where your heart is.
Alright, so here we go.
They didn't even bother with critical mode on this.
Well, if it was critical mode, which technically people have modded it, it would be ridiculously hard. I've seen what people modded critical mode for this game, and I'm like, nope, not in a million years. Nope, you can't make me. It's like, I don't care how good I get at this game. No.
What if it was for a donation? You had to think about it for a second.
I'm like, that would have... Okay. To be fair to anyone who watches this, and you're welcome to bring this up at any point in time just to freaking get at me, it would have to be a pretty big donation for me to go, okay, fine, but you're sitting with me to watch me torment on this one. You asked for it.
Like, it's either for a donation or for charity.
I mean, charity partially, but that donation better be a big one. It's just, that's,
So it'd be like a donation goal.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I've thought about the Patreon thing and everything like that, and I know, but I mean, come on already. I barely make enough money as it is. But my thing is that if I made a Patreon, I would have two categories. One is just for being able to access all the content and stuff like that. The other one would be for specifically commissions. Commissions like challenges and stuff like that. Like, challenge me to do certain stuff. Like, obviously it would be a case-by-case subject, but depending on the challenge depends on if I want to go out of my way to do it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, maybe, but I would only do it one time, and the song track, I'd be like, I'll let you pick the song track, but but I only have to do one song.
All
And
right.
knowing them, they picked the hardest song in the freaking game. I forget which song... Wave of Darkness, that's right. Wave of Darkness is considered the hardest one, because there's like a portion in the game in which where dozens of notes come at you at one time, and you're just like... I mean, I've seen it. They showed it on YouTube and stuff like that, and it's insane. It's so ridiculous.
We're seriously only an hour in.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it would take us long at all, to be perfectly honest, but I wasn't expecting myself to be this good. I was expecting having to retry at least once or twice, and so far it hasn't been that yet.
I hate how the health bar looks like a green cigarette.
It does.
I think we could both agree on this. You're probably preferring to fight Xehanort instead of Yozora.
Yeah. Just because of how Yozora is, I would rather fight Master Xehanort or 100 Xehanorts, which would be ridiculous.
I mean, you kinda do in Remind.
That is true. I did a lot better than I thought I have been. Dadgum. I actually have a interesting idea, but we'll wait until after this cutscene.
Thank you, Sora.
On the day that I sent you out from your world. Do you remember what it is I said to you? Those words hold the answer you seek. I may cause you to suffer, but I am a product of your heart. For that reason, I shall give you your answer.
Before, when my heart and body were still united as one, I told you about what would happen if we were to fail. If you arrive in a world that's neither of light nor darkness, but somewhere on the other side, your task will be far from easy. is the answer I have for you.
What does that mean?
If you arrive in a world that's neither of light nor darkness, but somewhere on the other side, your task will be far from easy.
Yes, he said that's the answer.
Not of light or darkness, but on the other side?
I've never heard of a place like that.
Something else he said perplexes me. Your voice can't reach us. I'm certain of where your heart is.
You would assume that he's referring to the realm of darkness, but that clearly isn't the case here, wouldn't you say?
Where voices can't reach. The other side of our world. Of reality. Unreality. A fictional world.
Fictional?
I still think Ansem looks like Jesus.
I'm afraid such mysteries are beyond
If Jesus was blonde-headed instead of dark-haired like depicted.
Our Master Yen Sid knows.
Any news?
Yeah.
Riku!
Oh, Kairi, you woke up.
Yeah, just now. How come you're here?
Well, actually, I found some info about Sora.
Really? We got something too.
You did? Oh.
Oh, excuse me, dears. I certainly didn't mean to.
I really need to stop doing that.
Oh gosh, why did I think this? You're gonna have to forgive me. This is the worst.
Did you think of the bingo again?
No, but this is something far worse. So imagine, depending on a person, they've reached the bottom of the bottom. They become so sad. And their only resource is to go to the restroom and just sit there and think about it and stuff like that. And, they've got their phone in their hand and they're just, traumatized and stuff like that. All of a sudden, you hear a fairy godmother voice and then she pops into the stall and she's like, "This is the last place I would have thought to have appeared. Oh, am I interrupting something?" Just... Can you imagine the awkwardness that would be just to pop into somewhere like that?
And of course, the face you paused it on.
I didn't mean to pause it right there. Oh gosh.
No kidding.
I just find that funny.
Now,
Oh
I
man.
am the fairy godmother, and it's a pleasure to meet you all.
She came here.
Oh no, I just thought of something terrible myself.
Okay, let's hear it. It's share time, everybody.
I think it's by a long shot worse than what you thought.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Replace the blue robe with a white one.
Wow. Wow. God.
Even pointed up on the top.
I know. If it wasn't for the fact that you actually see her face and everything like that, that would have made things so much more awkward. It's like, oh no. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. At least mine was more of a poof joke than anything. Oh gosh.
I am so sorry if you get under fire for what I said.
I expect everything that's been said to come back at me at full force. And I apologize 100 times over regardless.
To anyone listening, please do not cancel him. Or me, for that matter.
We're not worth canceling. There's a lot worse people out there, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, like Keemstar.
That's one.
She's got a clue that might help.
And
us
Eli
find
Musk.
Sora.
Yen Sid sent you?
That's right. To find Sora, we need 3 keys. First, Riku, and then, of course, there's you, dear Kairi.
Okay.
With Riku's dreams and Kairi's memories, you two have already done your part.
Kairi's memories. Yes. We performed an examination of Kairi's heart and obtained an important clue from the lost memories it contains, which is that...
You sound like you just did a surgery on her.
Yeah, like some kind of autopsy or something.
Riku, what did you
Wouldn't it be a biopsy because she was still alive?
I guess it would be, now that you mention it, yeah. Ugh, why did I go there? Then again, I don't know all of the medical terms, so there you go.
Well, since Sora disappeared, I've been having dreams about a large city with tall buildings. Apparently, that's the clue.
A city?
Maybe that's what Xehanort was talking about. A fictional world.
A fictional world?
Yes, perhaps. The 3 realms of our world. Light, darkness, and between. These are all places we can travel to, because they are on our side. This also includes the worlds of memories, data, and dreams. If I am correct, then this other side of our world, from which voices cannot reach, must be a place outside of our reality. Namely, it must be unreality, or fiction. But that is the extent of our knowledge.
So I thought
Isn't your world in and of
Sora,
itself
Mickey, and
fiction?
Master Yen...
That's the thing, I don't... Because... This is where it gets a little complicated, but there was a point in time that someone theorized that Kingdom Hearts is, in a sense, an unreality, which, in the realm of fairy tales, so on and so forth, and stuff like that. And the world that Sora ends up being in, which is Quadratum, is the reality world. And it's like, I'd rather not think that. I'd rather think of it as the alternative altered world, or parallel world, as one would classify it.
What kind of a theorist would come up with that, Mad Pat?
The same theorist that came up with the ideology that Xemnas could Xehanort could reappear in Quadratum. The same theory that led the idealization of the parallel world for Quadratum after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, so on and so forth. There's so many different theories, and it was one of the reasons why I had to put down Union Cross, because my mind was hurting so badly trying to take all this in, because they were, at the end of the day, all theories. Because, really, we don't know what else to think of at the time until Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out.
If it comes out.
I hope it does, because I really want to know what happens next.
Sid to ask about it.
I'm not quite sure they'll be able to help you, my dear.
Then, what now?
Oh, you forget. There are 3 people who hold the key. There's still one more. One with a strong will and a very precious dream.
Who is it?
You'll see. I'll introduce you.
They cut to black.
Thankfully, they don't leave us hanging for very long.
So she sends them to purgatory.
This place.
Yeah, I don't know why they went that far. I didn't think she had that type of level of
Here
magic.
with Sora, and also in my dreams while I slept.
I thought you were a fairy godmother, not a necromancer.
Even Merle's like, even I don't go that far. Maybe time travel, but it's never in dark territories.
Why don't you look closer.
Huh?
Yes, strong hearts gather here after death until they are ready to move on. I'm sure she's around here somewhere.
She?
The final key.
So, not nominee.
No, not nominee. Somebody else.
Is it the same person that they were talking about in Union Cross that Syx was after?
Nope. So, my guess is there is another person. And if you'll recall from the, quote-unquote, game trailer in Toy Box, you have Yozora and the other two guys. Then there's this woman that gets captured by the Gigas and stuff. My guess is that woman is technically who they're talking to. We don't really know what she looks like or what her form is, because at the time, we're kind of looking at her heart, which is basically Twinkling Star at this point.
Odd case scenario, it's Sora's mom.
Oh boy.
We found you. We've been searching all over for you, my dear.
Do I know you? I'm Kairi. It's a pleasure to meet you. You're all able to retain your appearance in this world. I met someone else who could do that.
So she's the final key?
That's right, dear. Now we finally have all three.
But how exactly can she help?
It's simple.
With our powers
Get into the
combined...
world
With
on the other
combined?
side.
With our powers combined, we could summon Captain Planet.
Oh gosh, I thought I was bad.
What?
You see, she's very special. Her form was taken from her, but she managed to find her way here. If she goes back to her world, her heart will certainly be stolen. Right, dear?
Oh. Yes. It seems you know a lot about me.
A little. And I would use my magic to change you back if I could. But I'm afraid that's impossible while you're in this form. Don't fret, though. I believe that we'll find a way to make your dream come true very soon.
Not soon enough, I'm afraid. At this rate.
I almost called him Yozora again.
I don't even...
Nomura likes to drip feed us.
Oh, no kidding. That drip feed is very dry sometimes.
Dream? Come true?
I want to help make that happen. Will it lead us to Sora?
Oh, I'm afraid it's not that simple. First, we must get to her world. She can open a path for us, and you can use the power of waking to go there.
The power of waking.
Sorry, but did I hear you say Sora?
Huh?
Wait, do you know him? Yes. He was here. He encouraged me not to give up. Did something happen to him?
Yeah. Sora disappeared. He's a good friend of ours, so we've been looking for him. Right now, we think he's in a big city full of tall buildings. Ring any bells?
A city full of tall buildings. Quadratum?
Huh?
It has more skyscrapers than any other city I know. That must be it.
Quadratum. Is that where Sora is?
There's no way of knowing. But I believe it is possible.
All right. Think you can help us?
I'm not sure exactly what's happening. But if Sora is in trouble, I want to help. Please let me know what you need from me.
Thanks.
I'm afraid this is as much as I can do. It's up to you, Riku, to take care of the rest.
I want to go.
Kairi, that's not...
Yeah, I know. I want to go with you. But I know that I can't. I need to finish training. I need to become stronger. And when I do, I'll be right there next to you and Sora.
Good.
But first, I'll go explain everything. To Donald and Goofy, and to Mickey and Master Yen Sid.
Be careful out there, dear, and try not to do anything too reckless. Come straight back if you encounter any trouble.
I will.
So I just thought of something.
What's that?
We were just talking about the idea of them going to worlds that aren't specifically Disney focused.
Right.
Who's to say that Sora and I guess contextually in this case Riku couldn't end up visiting Final Fantasy worlds?
That would be very possible.
I mean, they are going to a place of fiction, Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's about as fiction as it can get. There are multiple possibilities that the next entry of Kingdom Hearts is going to be. We don't know, because as far as we know, we only know about Quadratum. That's about it. We don't know
And
any...
that has no connection to either Disney or a Final Fantasy world.
If nothing else, it's his own property by itself. Because Nomura stated that he wanted to do a Verum Rex game first, but said that because of fan feedback for Kingdom Hearts 3 and stuff, he didn't want to leave them hanging wondering what was going to happen to Sora next. So he opted to do more focus on the next chapter, which is Kingdom Hearts 4, before he did Verum Rex. And I imagine Verum Rex is more or less of the in-between of the events of before Sora somehow gets intertwined and enters in Quadratum, and to the event of Kingdom Hearts 4. However way it plays out. It's just one of those things where ever since he showcased that ideal, he wanted to do that. And I think part of it is probably like, I'm not saying it is, but people have implicated that it's some kind of revenge plot from how Square Enix pulled him from the project of Final Fantasy Versus 13/15 and everything. Because that was technically kind of his... It was kind of his prodigy project.
It was his baby.
It was. And so to have that pulled from him, which to be fair, he was taking a little bit long on it. But he is also known for being a perfectionist, so I can understand why Square Enix was a little bit hastily on certain things. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're passionate about something, it hurts someone whenever their project that they've worked so hard for got pulled from them. I can understand that.
Like the guy who worked on The Thief and the Cobbler.
Yes. I completely sympathize whenever you worked so long and hard on a project and you've had full... Your heart is in it. Your heart was specifically put into that project. Only to then have that taken away from you due to constraints and whatever else may lead up and stuff like that. Like, there's a whole slew of stuff that was going on. and I probably could do a video, but I probably wouldn't do it nearly as justice compared to other YouTubers who have done like documentaries on like other game projects and stuff like that, because Versus 13 / Final Fantasy 15 is a documentary that I am waiting to see being made, because knowing what all went and everything like that, it was supposed to be a lot bigger and a lot different than what we got.
Okay, I'm just reminded of that one time when Daniel first did his review of Mickey Speedway USA, and then you leaned over into his ear and said, Final Fantasy 13 is a good game!
Oh, gosh.
You need to put that clip in the highlight for context.
I will. That was literally... I think that's probably, like, one of the earlier moments in Delmar's videos where I entered into the fray.
And a lot of the times you just were one of the people that would slapstick him around. For example, the sun jump! And you just knock him out.
No, my favorite...
You did that in the Grinch, and then I forget what other video you did that in, but it came like directly after that, and it was like you were having a conversation with Winston. It's like you just want to mess with his socials.
Yeah, but my favorite one that we did was back whenever Delmar had the No Shave November thing, and he shaved it off and stuff like that, and I was like, look at you, and I did that. You want to know how long that took us to do that take?
I'd imagine it was about an hour, because you were just laughing your asses off.
Thing is, I kept my composure for the majority of the time. Delmar wanted to be concentration, but every single time I did this to him, he started giggling so badly, and I'm like, dadgummit, you're supposed to be the one in the focus. I'm doing good here. Why are you laughing so hard? It's like, I can't help it. It's funny. It's like, I know it's funny, but I'm doing everything in my power to hold the composure. You're over here losing your absolute senses.
So, it's like that one scene from the bloopers where Hopper just bangs his brother up against the wall, and he just laughs, and he's like, I'm sorry, I can't take him seriously like
this. Oh, gosh.
Now I'm reminded of the blooper where Ada couldn't keep her composure around Hopper. It's like, do I look stupid to you? Yes! This is the 15th take. I can't work like this. I will be in my trailer.
Pixar, bring back those bloopers. They were just a treat.
Please! Please!
I miss them, and in a time like this, we need a good laugh sometimes. Oh, man.
You probably have billions under lock and key right now. It's just, come on, man. Just lift the embargo after what happened with Monsters Inc. Bring them back!
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
Wait, are we doing... Okay, I'm surprised. I did not think...
Oh.
I know there's an extra scene that we get to do and stuff like that, get to see and stuff, but I didn't think there would be a credit sequence, but I guess it makes sense.
I mean, Star Allies does something rather similar.
Yeah.
You know, on the topic of Star Allies, I find it absolutely ridiculous that people were bashing on Star Allies for being terrible when, like, the main stories, yeah, it's, compared to other games, most of the time you can let the CPUs fight for you. It is that easy. But it's the main selling point of a Kirby game is the story, the characters, and in post-game, the arenas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's where the true challenges come. Also, hi, Donald.
And Goofy.
So, I take it that in the time since they last saw him, he learned Glide too.
Apparently, yeah. Oh, hey, Aladdin.
Aladdin?
Yeah, Aladdin's like, I didn't know I could do this.
Maybe they're bringing back Agrabah.
And there's Ariel.
And Atlantica. They're doing the sequels.
Oh, no. And Hercules! Oh, gosh!
Hercules again?
Hercules is like, you can't get rid of me that easy. And there's Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. I'll be amazed if Tarzan appears.
Oh, gosh.
Hi,
If he appears, I'd be really surprised. I don't think he does, but that would be pretty interesting if it did.
Mulan! Simba! Are we gonna get Orin?
No Stitch.
Stitch wasn't a party member.
Not in terms of, like, main line. Well, technically, he was a summon.
Unless you count Birth by Sleep, but then again, that's not Sora that was teaming up with him.
Right.
Ventus. No, wait, not Ventus.
Roxas.
Roxas. Shion?
Axel.
Is that you?
Yep.
Okay, there. And Axel. I still really like that trio.
I know.
Ventus. Terra, Aqua. Wait, maybe the characters that are flying about are the ones that you have in the party in this game.
Yeah.
That would probably explain why Stitch is there. Mickey.
And there's Riku from Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be the party members.
Dream Drop Riku. Beans and Bat Trick.
Yep.
Wow, they're just giving one big send-off to everybody. Except Tarzan.
Yeah.
Still a shame they lost the rights to it.
Yeah. Copyright is such a pain.
Like, it's probably one of my favorite Disney films.
It's a good one.
Just the big moments where they focus on family just resonate with me. Okay, I'm you know the song Just One Person, right?
Yeah.
I'm now just picturing this is when they get together. It's like, and if 3 whole people, why not 4? And if 4 whole people, why not more and more and more? In fact, you could probably put that over the credits.
Alright, now we get into the other cutscene.
Unmute time.
There we go. What to say? It's like, we're waiting.
Riku went alone? But that's way too dangerous. I have to go after him now.
Do not be hasty, Mickey.
But Master Yen said he's all alone in a world we know nothing about.
Precisely. We have never faced something like this before. Which is why we must remain calm.
But...
He's like, I already lost Sora, I can't lose Riku too!
Yeah.
From Xehanort during his time as a researcher?
Yes.
Then that means he must have been aware of this other world for quite some time.
But... we defeated Xehanort. Is there anybody else we can ask?
When I was still serving as a Keyblade Master, it was known that the ancient masters had crossed over into another world. I surmised that Xehanort looked more deeply into that world.
The ancient Keyblade Masters.
For now, we must reach out to those in Radiant Garden, the land of departure and Twilight Town, who are searching for Sora, to inform them of what we have learned.
You don't suppose Lucia would have any idea about Quadratum, do ya?
It's hard to say, really, in all honesty. I'm not sure.
This to you.
Yes, sir.
And Kairi, will you continue your training as you were before?
Actually, I'd like to study under Master Aqua.
That is an excellent idea. I approve.
Thank you.
And you, Mickey,
Yes.
I task you with the investigation of this new world, and how it is related to the ancient Keyblade Masters.
But how?
You'll begin in the world of Scala ad Kailum.
And that is where it leaves us off. Oh, Lord Almighty.
The rabbit hole ends here.
Yep.
For now.
Until we decide to dive into Union Cross, to which case, oh boy, that's gonna be something. But I'm surprised we managed to somehow fill out an entire flippin' almost hour and 45 minutes. I don't know how we managed that. But we did.
By me padding it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have officially, in terms of the games, went through all of the Kingdom Hearts games. So, needless to say...
With the exception of the obvious.
Yeah. But, obviously, we'll end it off here. But, technically, tomorrow, we will not be streaming.
Because of a brother's day out.
Yep, for me and Delmar's brother day out and stuff like that. But...
So, where do we go from here?
Hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, next week, I will be diving into... You can't even see the damn thing! Gosh! It's so freaking bright! Turn off TV, that way you can actually see the damn thing!
Cuphead!
In the delicious last course segment. On the one hand, I've been excited about this, and on the other hand, I have been dreading this because I know how hard this is gonna be. So without further ado, guys, we will end the stream, but next week we will be starting on the delicious last course DLC of Cuphead. And believe me, you might want to check that out.
We're not gonna do a bit of a recap with Miss Chalice involved?
A recap?
Yeah, because you can play through the main story with Miss Chalice if you went to the mausoleum.
Huh. I didn't know that. I knew that you could play as her during the DLC, and I figured after you beat that segment, you could select her in the other areas and stuff like that. Huh. Didn't know that. But, at any rate though, because whenever I was installing the disc and stuff like that, with the DLC and stuff like that, the system automatically registered the game, and thus ported the save file onto the game, which helped out tremendously, actually, in all honesty. It's like, do I really want to replay through the entire game again? Partially, no.
Oh my god, I just realized something.
That would be?
This last highlight reel is gonna make the current tally of highlight reels the same amount of episodes as your first Kingdom Hearts 1 Let's Play. 50.
Well, alright then. Wow, I didn't think I was going to do that, but it worked. It works. It works. Alright then, guys. We'll see you next week. Till then, this is me and NBC Mekachu signing off.
Bye.
Catch you guys later.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Yep.